Stan, you look so much fresher and happier. I see that face, a face I was worried about because it walked past me in the Miami Heat's arena filled with misery. Can you explain to me why it is that you're so much happier away from that job and yet you're addicted to that job?
Yeah, that's always been something I've tried to figure out, Dan, because, away from coaching, there's none of the misery of losing. There's not the misery of anticipating problems that could come up. I think the pull, to be quite honest, is a couple of things, but a big part of it is just being a part of a team. I mean, even though the misery of losing creeps in, there is something special about being part of a group, a coaching staff and a team of players that is trying to accomplish a goal. I don't know that, outside of marriage, that there's been any closer bonds I've had in my life. And so that's really what pulls you back. Plus the competitiveness of trying to figure it out and trying to, see if you can find a better way and make a team better. I find that a pull also.
Was there anything about having all the power in the Pistons organization, anything that came with that power that you weren't expecting and surprised you?
Yeah, the one thing I didn't like is I had a big staff of people that I felt very, very responsible for. And as things came down this year and we didn't have the success we'd hoped, and I knew my job was in jeopardy and then eventually got fired, a lot of other people are affected by that. And I don't think fans really appreciate that when they're always calling for coaches to get fired. I don't expect anybody to feel sorry for us. They shouldn't. We make good money. We know what comes with the job, but there's a lot of other people that are making very normal incomes and sometimes not much at all who are affected because generally, they clean a house when somebody goes out. And so a lot of people lost their jobs through no fault of their own simply because I didn't win enough games. I felt that as it was going on, and it's an immense responsibility, and it really weighed on me. And it's something I had not thought about before I took that job.
You are brutal on yourself. What is the single worst feeling you've known after losing a basketball game?
Well, I think the games you come out of where you feel like you really had decisions you could have made differently that would have won the game. I mean, generally I would always feel there's more I could do, but there were some games where I really felt like if it weren't for me, we could have won that game. Those weigh on you a lot longer. It might be a last second play, something like that, where you didn't get your team a good look at the basket, something like that, where you come away saying, man.
Well, give me the one, though. Give me the one that you think of when I ask, the one that kept you up for a bit, the one that you still think about now. Man, I blew that one.
Yeah, Game 2 of the Eastern Conference Finals in 2009 against Cleveland. And we've got a chance to go up 2-0 on the road against Cleveland. And LeBron hits a three that wins Game 2 for him. And we didn't come off the ball and double team him like we should have. And it could have ended up costing us a series. When I still see that damn replay every year when they're advertising for the playoffs, they run it. And I want them at least to put a caption on, Dan, that we won the series, for God's sakes. But even though we did, that one still keeps me up.
Stan, would you be kind enough, please, to be a media gas bag for me and blaspheme against Michael Jordan by telling the people your argument for why LeBron James is better, flatly better than Michael Jordan?
Okay, I've said I think he's better, but flatly better is too far. I said this much better, okay? This much better. And to
Come on, that's not how you get out there as a gas bag, Stan. Let's go. We got to rehearse this a little bit. Have a stronger opinion than that. Let's go.
I can't do it in this case. It's hard enough for me to even step out and have a definitive number one. But I think to me, LeBron's passing and how he has helped so many other guys play well is the slight difference between the two of them. But there's not much separating them. Now, I've also said I actually had Oscar Robertson in between LeBron and Michael Jordan. So I had Michael Jordan number 3, and we're really just talking perimeter players. I mean, we always forget about the big guys. I don't know why. It's happening in our game today, but we don't talk about Wilt Chamberlain and Bill Russell and Kareem and Shaq and Tim Duncan. We always go to those perimeter guys, but that would be my order of the perimeter guys: LeBron, Oscar, and Michael Jordan.
LeBron does everything better than Michael and has like 70 pounds on him, doesn't he? Like that would be a pretty good way to make the argument on behalf of LeBron.
Bigger and stronger for sure. I'd say Michael Jordan, even though LeBron can really score the ball, I'd say Michael was a better pure scorer than LeBron. I think they're pretty much equal as defenders. Even as they got later into their careers, they started to pick their spots a little bit more, maybe didn't defend with the same intensity for the full 48 minutes, but both really good at that end. The one edge you would have to give Michael, right, is his durability was incredible. So you're talking about the 6 championships in 8 years, 82 games every single year, 38 minutes a game. And as I've said many times, still had something left for the playoffs, as I remember. And so this whole idea, the only way you can manage a team is you got to rest these guys all year. They didn't have that idea in Michael's day, and he was fairly successful.
I was surprised one time when you said of everyone in the history of the sport, the guy that you would give the basketball at the end for all the major decisions would be Dwayne Wade. No knock on Dwayne. There are just a lot of other places that people might have gone before that.
Well, yeah, no, look, and there's been a lot of great players in our game. I just think, I mean, Dwayne obviously is a Hall of Fame player, number one, so greatness is the first requirement. But there's just people who really know how to use the clock in those situations and I think execute very well. I thought Dwayne was the best I'd seen. Now I'm biased because I coached him, but even from his rookie year, I just don't think there's anybody better or has been anybody better, at least in my time in the league, at executing in those situations, getting you a good shot, not leaving time for the other team to come back. His first playoff game as a rookie, that's exactly what we saw, but he had done it several times even before then.
Pop, you got a question for Stan Van Gundy?
This is a tough one, Stan. I'm telling you, this is going to really be difficult for you to answer, but I gotta know that. How do you propose to your wife?
I remember where and when we were living in a rented place in Buffalo, New York, when I was assistant at Canisius College, and I was romantic enough that I got down on one knee. I couldn't do that today. I wouldn't be able to get up. But at that time, I was still young. It's been, that was 31 years ago. I've been married 30 years, and yeah, I did very well in that department. Dan, did you get down? Did Dan get down on one knee?
I did. Okay,
I don't know about this guy.
Yes, I'm engaged. I got down on a knee. We were talking about you. You're the guest. We're going to leave you now. Good talking to you.
Nice talking to you.